All right, folks. This tweet was sent out by St. Louis Congresswoman Cori Bush on a couple of days ago. She said we should commemorate the 1-year anniversary of January 6th by passing my H Resolution 25 to investigate and expel the members of Congress who helped incite the violent insurrection at our Capitol. Sounds like a great idea to me. Now, keep in mind what has been going on, Mustafa. We now are hearing that Peter Navarro said he, Senator Ted Cruz, and Steve Bannon and others have recruited upwards of 100 members of Congress to actually take over, to try to throw out the results of the election on January 6th and then return it to 6 states that Republicans control. Sound to me like they are admitting to an insurrection.
Exactly. And that's why the House Res 25 is so incredibly important, because it gives folks not only to have the accountability for it, the accountability also has to say that if you're caught with your hand in the cookie jar, if you're caught doing these types of egregious behaviors, then you need to go. You know, so treason is what treason is. And these types of actions definitely lead in that direction. I know to actually prosecute someone for a treasonous act has only happened a handful of times in our country, but nothing raises to a higher level than what we saw on January the 6th. And we put our trust into our elected officials to protect our democracy, to make sure that they're following the law, if you will. And for them to take these types of actions, to play a significant role with these domestic terrorists, says that they are not interested in the positions that they hold, so they need to go.
You know, the crazy thing here, Xavier, is that, look, they're just openly admitting to this whole deal. And so what you're now seeing are individuals who were very much involved to try to overthrow the government. And look, the thing that jumps out here is that, you know, there were people right now who are in power who were involved, and that's the sort of action that needs to be taken to toss these folks out.
Yeah, Roland. I mean, Navarro openly said, "quote unquote," it was a perfect plan, and it all predicated on peace and calm on Capitol Hill. We didn't need any protesters because we had over 100 congressmen committed to it. That's openly saying 100 congressmen committed a terrible act upon this country and agreed to it. And now they're so emblazoned because they're defying subpoenas, defying contempt, and just moving ahead without any accountability at all. I think it is incumbent upon us to move faster. We have a report potentially that'll be maybe coming out next summer about what's happening, but that'll be right in the middle of an election. And how will that be impacted in terms of accountability? There needs to be some action, and it needs to happen swiftly.
Teresa, go ahead.
I agree with the same sentiment. I mean, you know, as we look at some of the efforts that have been in Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, and of course the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, about the invalidation of even Joe Biden's presidency, but we also, you know, have to look at some of the issues that has been happening since this January 6th attack and the rollout from it. I mean, there has been an uncovering of so many conversations, so many text messages that has stemmed from the chief of staff of the White House during Trump's presidency, where it's like, you know, enough is enough and it has to be a stop. So I think if we're not holding our members of Congress to a higher, really to their oath by utilizing our taxpayer dollars to do their jobs, I think we're finding ourselves in this position where if they won't hold themselves accountable, how are they able to say that the American people should hold themselves accountable for whatever situation that we're going through? So, I mean, I think the trust needs to go back. I think Congresswoman's bill is something that we likely should probably put on the forefront. But I think, again, more pressure just needs to be given on all sides, because, again, this has been a stain on our nation's capital.
This is the story that is in the Daily Beast. Trump advisor Peter Navarro lays out how he and Bannon plan to overturn Biden's electoral win. And what they did was he makes it clear, Mustafa, they were working directly with Texas Senator Ted Cruz and Arizona Congressman Paul Gosar on what they wanted them to do and what they needed to do to not certify the election.
They place themselves in this privileged position, and that's why you see these types of actions playing out, where they think that they can share and say and do whatever without there being any repercussions. And that's why we find ourselves in the situation that we do. It's because Republicans, the majority of Republicans, let me not just give a broad brush, have refused to take action for a number of years now when they see these types of things going on, whether when Trump was in office or now when Biden is in office. And until folks are actually held accountable, these types of things are going to escalate. People keep talking about democracy, but yet they don't truly care about democracy, that they care about, you know, the ideal of democracy. But when it comes down to doing the hard work and holding people accountable, then they begin to take a step backwards.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment.
Are the stars out tonight?
Alexa, play our favorite song again.
Okay.
I only have eyes for you.
Folks, Black Star Network is here.
I'm real revolutionary right now.
Support this man, Black Media. He makes sure that our stories are told.
Thank you for being the voice of Black America, Roland.
Stay black. I love y'all.
All momentum we have now, we have to keep this going.
The video looks phenomenal.
See, this difference between Black Star Network and Black-owned media and something like CNN.
You can't be Black-owned media and be scared.
It's time to be smart.
Bring your eyeballs home.
You dig?